Chapter 1. Game over, real life begins. Marcus Lee was not used to losing. He didn't lose at poker, he didn't lose at business presentations, not that he attended many. And he certainly didn't lose at Battle Legends Online, the high-stakes multiplayer game where he reigned as top-tier royalty. At least until approximately 3 minutes ago. Bro. You just got absolutely destroyed, his teammate groaned through the headset. Like they clipped it already. It's on TikTok. It has a meme caption. It says, "Rich boy learns humility." Marcus slumped in his gaming chair, head tilted back, staring at the ceiling in disbelief. "How many people saw that?" he muttered. 20,000. And climbing. He groaned and slammed the headset down onto his sleek LED-lit desk. His penthouse apartment was quiet except for the dull hum of his custom-built PC and the distant sound of someone vacuuming the hallway outside. Reality was pressing in hard and fast. He needed caffeine. And maybe, just maybe, he needed to touch grass. The morning was too bright. The kind of bright that made Marcus wish he had gone with tinted car windows. He threw on a hoodie, shades, and joggers and slid into his Tesla like a man avoiding paparazzi. Except no one cared enough to follow a washed-up gamer from last night's public humiliation. He drove aimlessly until he spotted a small cafe tucked between a laundromat and a flower shop, completely unbothered by the glittering skyscrapers around it. The chalkboard sign out front read, "Coffee first, questions never." That sounded right. That sounded safe. The bell above the door jingled as he stepped in, greeted by the scent of espresso, burnt toast, and what could only be described as sarcastic indie music. Marcus approached the counter, where a petite woman with black hair tied in a messy ponytail was scribbling on a tablet, earbuds in. She didn't look up. "Give me a sec." Marcus blinked. No hello? No fake smile. Not even a glance? He cleared his throat. She finally looked up and paused. Her sharp brown eyes took in the hoodie, the jawline, the dark sunglasses. Her eyebrow lifted like a weapon. "You ordering coffee or auditioning for a spy movie?" Marcus smirked despite himself. "Depends. Do spies get free croissants?" "You'd still have to tip," she replied flatly. "What'll it be, hoodie?" "Americano. Large. No sugar." "Figures," she muttered. Straight bitterness. Marcus chuckled under his breath. He was different. Most people either fawned or froze around him. He didn't care. At all. "What's your name?" he asked, handing her his card. "Jade," she said, swiping it. "What about you?" He paused. "Marcus." She handed back the card and nodded. "Cool. Your coffee'll be ready when it's ready." Marcus settled at a corner table and watched her move behind the counter with smooth efficiency. She was focused, precise, occasionally mouthing lyrics to whatever was in her earbuds. It was oddly fascinating. His phone buzzed. Text from Lucas, team captain. "Yo, check your DMs. The meme's viral. 1.3 M views. Also, why did you dive into enemy territory with no backup?" Marcus groaned and flipped the phone face down. The only thing more bruised than his ego was his win-loss record. A cup slid onto his table. "Here," Jade said, then tilted her head. "Wait, you're not that Marcus, are you?" His pulse jumped. "Depends. Which one?" "The one who got 360 no-scoped by a 12-year-old last night while his whole team screamed in horror." Marcus blinked. "Wow. That's oddly specific. You're famous on gamer fails." My brother laughed so hard he dropped his controller. He coughed. "Good to know I'm bringing families together." She snorted. "Was impressive. In a car crash you can't look away from kind of way." He stared at her for a second. Then to his own surprise he laughed. Real full laugh. "You're not going to ask for a selfie?" "Nope." "An autograph?" "Please." He leaned forward, intrigued. "Why not?" Jade shrugged. "I'm not into gaming. I prefer hobbies that don't ruin my sleep schedule or brain cells." Ouch. "Are you always this brutal or is today special?" "I'm not brutal," she said, feigning innocence. "I'm just refreshingly honest. You look like you needed humbling anyway." Marcus grinned. "Well, mission accomplished." He left the cafe 20 minutes later with a caffeine buzz, slightly bruised pride, and a strange desire to come back the next day. He didn't even like Americanos that much. Marcus returned to the cafe the next morning. He told himself it was for the coffee. That was a lie. The coffee was fine, passable at best, but it was Jade's deadpan delivery that had stuck with him. She was wiping down a table when she noticed him. "Back again, Hoodie?" she called without looking up. "Maybe I'm here for redemption." Jade looked up. "Or you just need free Wi-Fi and emotional support." He laughed. "Both. Mostly the second one." She didn't smile, but he could see the smirk tugging at the corner of her lips. "Sit down. I'll bring you your usual bitter dose of regret." By the third day, Jade knew his order before he said it. By the fifth, she stopped pretending to be surprised he was there. And by the seventh, Marcus knew 3 things for certain. 1. Jade hated latte art. 2. She had a wickedly sarcastic sense of humor. 3. She didn't care at all about who he was or what he had. It was the most refreshing thing in his entire overpolished, overfiltered life. One night, after another bruising scrim with his rookie team, Marcus dragged himself into the cafe 30 minutes before closing. Jade was mopping the floor, earbuds in, singing under her breath. Her voice was surprisingly soft, melodic, until she saw him. "Kitchen's closed," she said, pulling one earbud out. "But I can make you a pity drink." Marcus collapsed into a chair. "Please. I'm emotionally bankrupt." She eyed him. "That bad?" "Worse. My team says I have main character syndrome." "I mean, you do dress like a K-drama heir." Marcus groaned. Jade disappeared behind the counter and returned with a steaming mug. "No Americano this time. Something warmer, sweeter." She set it down in front of him. "What's this?" he asked. "An identity crisis law. On the house." He took a sip. It was actually good. Really good. "Okay, barista Jade. You win this round." She sat across from him, cradling her own cup. "So, what's the deal? You rich boys don't usually slum it with normies unless you're either rebelling or going through a quarter-life crisis." "Can't it be both?" he said, grinning. He gave him a look. Marcus hesitated, then sighed. "I guess. I'm trying to prove something." "To your family?" "To everyone. Including myself." Jade tilted her head. "You're serious about the whole gaming thing?" He nodded. "I'm building a team. I want to go pro. Not just for the status, though yeah, that's part of it. But because I love it. Always have." Jade looked at him for a long moment, her usual smirk gone. "That's kinda admirable," she admitted. "In a fighting for your dreams while eating instant noodles kind of way." Marcus chuckled. "I knew I liked you." She arched a brow. "Careful, Hoodie. I'm not a side quest you can romance your way through." He held up his hands. "I'm not even logged in." They sat in silence for a moment, sipping their drinks. Then Jade leaned forward. "You really think you've got what it takes?" "Yeah," Marcus said quietly. "But I'm going to need a few critical buffs." "Like what?" He grinned. "Confidence. Consistency. And maybe a sarcastic barista who makes excellent crisis lattes." Jade shook her head, but her smile gave her away. "I'll consider being your unofficial sponsor. But only if you win at least one game this week." Marcus raised his mug in salute. "Deal." That night, Marcus played with a new fire. He wasn't just playing to win. He was playing to prove himself worthy of someone who saw straight through the layers of his curated, glossy life. They still lost. But for the first time in weeks, he didn't feel like it was game over. He felt like it was just the beginning. Chapter 2: The Coffee Quest. By now, Marcus had a permanent groove worn into the corner seat of Jade's cafe. If someone sat there before he arrived, they'd find him hovering like a caffeinated ghost until they left. Jade of course noticed. "Do you pay rent for that seat?" she asked one Thursday morning, wiping her hands on a towel behind the counter. "I'm emotionally leasing it," Marcus replied, sipping his Americano. 3 months minimum. Option to renew." Jade rolled her eyes. "You're so dramatic." He smirked. "Only when sleep-deprived. Which is always." The bell jingled behind him. A kid, maybe 16 or 17, with messy hair and a hoodie 3 sizes too big, stormed in, grumbling under his breath. "You better not have used all the almond milk again, Jade." The kid stopped short when he saw Marcus. Marcus raised his cup. "Sup." The kid blinked. Then his eyes widened. Wait. Are you, he pointed dramatically, Marcus Lee 7? The dude who got dunked by a bronze rank player while trying to ult. Jade groaned. Oh no. Not this again. Marcus sighed. That video has a longer lifespan than most Hollywood marriages. The kid's face split into a grin. Man, that was epic. I sent that to my entire guild. Marcus blinked. You have a guild? Yeah. We run ranked queues every weekend. I main support though, so no flashy kills. Smart, Jade said. Less embarrassment potential. The kid turned to her. You didn't tell me he was that, Marcus. That's like elite level gossip. Jade rolled her eyes. He's just a guy who drinks overpriced coffee and complains about his team. I do not complain, Marcus protested. You whined for 10 minutes about lag yesterday. That was a legitimate network issue. The kid laughed. This is hilarious. I'm Dylan, by the way. Jade's younger brother. Marcus looked between them. You're related? You look nothing alike. We share the sarcasm gene, Dylan said proudly. And the caffeine addiction, Jade added. Marcus leaned back intrigued. You play Battle Legends online, right? Yeah, Dylan said. Why? I'm building a team. Trying to go pro. Dylan blinked. You're joking. Nope. You're like 25. 24, Marcus corrected, wounded. That's ancient in gamer years. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate the support. Jade snorted into her sleeve. But seriously, Dylan continued. If you're trying to go pro, you need more than flashy gear and a highlight reel. You need strategy. Consistency. A team that doesn't think teamwork is optional. Marcus nodded slowly. You offering to coach me? Dylan looked amused. What's in it for me? I can buy you a new rig. Tempting. But I want something better. Marcus raised a brow. Name it. Dylan grinned wickedly. You let me carry you through 5 ranked games. And you don't rage quit. Jade burst out laughing. Marcus winced. Even if I get sniped by a 12-year-old again? Especially if he gets sniped by a 12-year-old again. That weekend, Marcus found himself in Dylan's chaotic bedroom, surrounded by snack wrappers, LED lights, and 2 cats named Pixel and Lag. Jade popped in once to deliver drinks, wearing pajama pants and a messy bun, and smirked the entire time. You sure you're ready for this hoodie? She teased. Born ready, Marcus declared. Famous last words, Dylan muttered. The first game went about as expected. Marcus rushed in too fast. Dyke. Blamed the healer. Forgot to use his ultimate, got memed in team chat. Dylan didn't say anything. The second game went slightly better. Marcus actually checked the minimap. The third game he waited for backup before initiating. Jade passed by the room just in time to hear Dylan say, Okay, that was actually decent. Marcus beamed like he'd won an Oscar. By game 5 they were laughing. Real honest stomach-clutching laughter. I swear that guy was camping me, Marcus groaned. That's because you keep walking into the same alley like it's a tourist attraction. It's a strategic corner. It's a murder funnel, Marcus. Jade appeared in the doorway, arms crossed. So, who won? Marcus looked up proudly. We did. Dylan added, barely. But he didn't rage quit. I'm weirdly impressed. Jade smirked. Looks like my emotionally stunted coffee addict is growing up. Marcus shot her a look. That almost sounded like a compliment. Don't get used to it. That night as Marcus left their house, Jade followed him to the door. You're really doing this, huh? She asked, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. Trying to. I gotta admit, she hesitated. You're not what I expected. Marcus leaned against the doorframe. What did you expect? A spoiled rich kid playing games between yacht parties. Wow. That's specific. He shrugged. You're actually kind of earnest. It's weird. Marcus laughed. You keep saying things that sound like insults but feel like encouragement. He gave him a look. You're just lucky you're cute. He blinked. Did Jade just call him cute? Before he could respond, she added, in a puppy who falls down the stairs kind of way. And with that she closed the door in his face. Marcus stood there stunned. Then he smiled wider than he had in weeks. Maybe this whole coffee and coaching plan was the best quest he'd ever started. Chapter 3. Patch Notes and Heartbeats. The email came on a rainy Tuesday. Marcus sat alone in the cafe, nursing his usual black coffee and attempting to review last night's match footage. Jade was in the back, blasting retro K-pop and humming off-key. Rain pattered gently on the windows. His inbox pinged. Subject: You're invited. Battle Legends Regional Showcase. Congratulations. You've been selected to participate in the upcoming Battle Legends Regional Pro-Am Showcase. Marcus reread the message 3 times before standing up, so suddenly he knocked over his chair. Jade poked her head out of the kitchen. Please tell me that was from excitement and not another rage ejection. He turned the screen toward her. Read it. She squinted. You got in. I got in. She blinked. Is that good? Marcus stared at her. It's huge. It's the entry-level showcase for regional pros. If I do well, scouts could notice me. Real teams. Real sponsorships. Jade whistled. Wow. So this is like your Met Gala, but with energy drinks and keyboard clacking. Exactly, he said, then paused. Okay, rude, but yes. He paced the floor, adrenaline buzzing. It's in 3 days. I need to finalize the roster. Dylan's in, obviously. And I can probably convince that tank main from my last lobby. Jade raised an eyebrow. Wait. It's out of town. Yeah, it's in Songnam. Couple hours by train. She crossed her arms. And let me guess, you forgot to plan travel, accommodation, food, anything remotely resembling logistics? Marcus stopped pacing. I was going to figure that out later? She gave him a slow, assessing look. Then sighed. God help me, I'm coming with you. Thursday morning. I can't believe I'm doing this, Jade muttered, hauling her backpack onto the train. Don't act like you're not excited, Marcus grinned, juggling his gear bag and a suspiciously large tote full of instant noodles. I'm not excited. I'm concerned. You'd lose your own feet if they weren't attached. I can locate my feet just fine, thank you. Left ones untied. He tripped 5 seconds later. The train ride was long. Marcus spent half of it strategizing with Dylan and the other half mock bickering with Jade over the difference between a flex healer and a support main. He countered by quizzing him on random facts from a true crime podcast she was listening to. By the time they reached Songnam, they were all laughing too much to notice the rain had followed them. The showcase was being held in a repurposed convention hall turned gaming arena. Neon lights, sponsor banners, and the low thrum of bass-level hype music filled the air. Jade looked around. This is like Comic-Con but with less cosplay and more caffeine shakes. Marcus practically vibrated with excitement. I love it. He turned to Dylan. Is he always like this before competitions? Dylan deadpanned. Worse. Marcus's team wasn't exactly polished. Dylan was solid, sure. But their tank main showed up late and had a full-blown existential crisis during warm-ups. The DPS duo ghosted last minute, and Marcus had to convince a 17-year-old he met on Discord the night before to fill in. Jade watched the chaos unfold from the stands with a paper cup of vending machine coffee and a bemused look. Despite everything, Marcus shined. He was faster, sharper. Not perfect but focused. When things went wrong, and they often did, he kept his cool. When they won their second match with a clutch backdoor, he leapt out of his seat and pumped his fist like a kid on Christmas morning. Jade found herself clapping despite herself. They placed 5th out of 12. Not bad. Not pro-ready but enough to get noticed. A recruiter from a Tier 3 team gave Marcus his card. Not bad, Kim, the man said, offering a handshake. You've got a head for pressure. Marcus nearly dropped the card out of shock. Jade took a picture from the sidelines. That's one for the ego scrapbook. That evening they checked into a cheap hostel with creaky beds and a vending machine that only took coins from 1998. Jade claimed the top bunk. Marcus flopped onto the bottom one, staring at the ceiling. I actually did it, he said softly. I didn't crash and burn. Jade peered over the edge of her bunk. You didn't. You glitched a few times, but it was kind of inspiring. In a nerdy way. He smiled up at her. Thanks for coming. She paused. You're welcome. But don't get used to it. No promises. Another beat of silence passed. Then Marcus said, you know, I've had a lot of fake people around me before. Pure friends. Streamer flings. People who only talk when I win. And I, Jade said dryly, am here to remind you of your failures and make sure you don't starve. Exactly. He chuckled, then added softer, I think I need someone like that in my life. Jade looked down at him. Her eyes met his, and for a moment neither of them looked away. Just then the vending machine outside rattled loudly. Dylan yelled from the hallway, who took the last choco bar? The spell broke. Jade rolled her eyes and tossed a pillow down at Marcus. Go to sleep, Drama King. You've got a team to build. Marcus smiled, catching the pillow. And for the first time in a long time his heart beat faster. Not from the game but from something he hadn't felt in a while. Possibility. Chapter 4. Late Nights and Life Hacks. By the time they returned to the city, Marcus had stars in his eyes and a dozen new ideas on a sticky note stuck to his forehead. Literally. Jade stared at him from behind the cafe counter. You have a post-it stuck to your face that says, don't forget hydration. Marcus peeled it off. That's team strategy. It's basic biology. Dylan, sitting nearby with a protein bar in one hand and a game controller in the other, added, he also wrote remember to breathe on his wrist yesterday. Preventative measures, Marcus said solemnly. From fainting. From failure. Jade snorted. Marcus had officially entered pro mode. He started streaming his scrims nightly, training with Dylan and a newly formed squad that included Rhea, a blunt lightning-fast shot caller from Busan who wore gaming gloves and treated every match like a military operation. Chai, a quiet, twitchy strategy nerd who insisted on spreadsheeting every play style. And Ace, a mystery player with a voice deeper than Marcus's savings account and a KD ratio that made grown men cry. They called themselves Team Respawn Romance as a joke. It stuck. Jade watched their training sessions from a corner table, nursing her coffee like a spectator at a ping-pong tournament. You guys argue like siblings, she said one evening after Marcus nearly threw a headset across the room. Marcus collapsed into the seat next to her. That's how you know we're improving. Or imploding. He shot her a look. Have a little faith in me. I do. I just also have a deep, unwavering faith in chaos. He chuckled, wiping sweat from his brow. You're like my personal commentator. Maybe I should start live tweeting your meltdowns. He grinned. You'd have at least 10,000 followers by now. You wish. Pause. He turned toward her. I'm glad you're still around. Her hand paused on her mug. Jade looked at him, really looked at him, sweaty, tired, beaming from a team win and too many instant noodles. She felt a flicker in her chest that she wasn't ready to name. So she just said, someone's gotta make sure you don't eat ramen for breakfast. That weekend, Jade closed the cafe early and joined Marcus and Dylan for a late-night team hangout at a 24-hour gaming cafe. It was less glamorous than it sounded. Sticky tables. Loud pop music. The faint smell of instant kimchi soup in the air. Remind me why I agreed to this? Jade muttered as she slid into a cracked leather chair. Because you secretly like us, Marcus said, handing her a snack tray. And I lost a bet, she replied, popping a honey butter chip into her mouth. Dylan chimed in. Also, Jade's our unofficial team mom now. Excuse me. Jade raised an eyebrow. You bring snacks, nag us to sleep and threaten to unplug Marcus's router if he doesn't stretch his wrists. Marcus nodded solemnly. She's terrifying. But in a comforting way. Jade smirked. I feel so honored. Around 2 a.m. Marcus walked Jade home. Just the two of them. The city was quiet, the streets slick with late-night rain. Her arm brushed against his just once, but it sent his brain into a tailspin. He cleared his throat. So, team's getting better. Yep. And I'm not rage quitting anymore. Progress. Also got asked to co-stream with this tier 2 guy next week. Might be a big deal. That's amazing, Marcus. He turned to look at her, a little more serious. You know, I wouldn't be here without you. She raised a brow. You'd still be here. Just probably passed out from caffeine withdrawal. I mean it. He stopped walking. You grounded me. Reminded me I'm more than just clicks and win streaks. Jade went still. The city lights cast a soft glow on his face. For a moment he looked too good, like the kind of guy you weren't supposed to fall for because you knew it would get complicated. And yet, before she could respond, Marcus took a step closer. Jade. The screech of tires cut through the moment as a delivery scooter zoomed past. They both startled. Jade laughed nervously, stepping back. Careful. You almost got hit and got cheesy on me in the same minute. Marcus ran a hand through his hair, half smiling. Yeah. Bad combo. She looked up at him, heart thudding. I should go, she said softly. I open early tomorrow. He nodded. Right. Of course. She lingered for half a second too long. Then turned. Back in her apartment, Jade stared at the ceiling, heart thudding like a drum in her chest. What was that? She buried her face in her pillow. This is a mistake, she mumbled. Meanwhile, Marcus sat in his apartment staring at his monitor, but the footage of their last match played on mute. His thoughts were somewhere else entirely. He finally messaged Dylan. Marcus, how do you know if you're falling for someone? Dylan, is she yelling at you for skipping meals again? Marcus, yes. Dylan, then it's already too late, bro. Chapter 5. Lag spikes and love confessions, almost. The cafe smelled like caramel and rain that morning. Jade had just finished restocking the pastry shelf when the bell above the door jingled, and Marcus burst in, hair damp, hoodie half-sipped, laptop bag flapping behind him like a cape. You're 10 minutes early, she said without looking up. He grinned. I missed you. Jade dropped the tongs. What? I mean the coffee. I missed the coffee. He grabbed a stool. Definitely not you. That would be weird. Jade narrowed her eyes. You're acting twitchier than a laggy stream. What happened? Marcus fished a folded contract out of his hoodie pocket and slapped it on the counter. Tier 2 team. Real contract. They want to sponsor me for the summer tournament circuit. Jade blinked. Wait, for real? Marcus nodded, trying and failing to look calm. They said my playstyle is unpredictable. And my team dynamic has spark. Probably the part where you yell whoa mid-push. Strategic morale boost, he said proudly. Jade smiled, then sobered. This is big. It is. So you're gonna take it? Marcus hesitated. I think so. But it's in Busan. Her smile faltered. Oh. Only for the summer, he said quickly. 3 months. Then I'm back. Jade didn't respond right away. She busied herself behind the counter, pretending to rearrange a stack of napkins that didn't need rearranging. Marcus watched her, his heart sinking slightly. I haven't said yes yet, he added. You should. She met his eyes. This is your dream. Marcus leaned on the counter. You know what would make the dream better? Jade raised an eyebrow. Let me guess. A mute button for Rhea. He grinned. You coming with me? She stared at him. I could use a logistics manager. Or emotional support barista. I have a business to run. You also once told a regular you'd switch to cat-themed latte art if he didn't stop flirting. Still stands. They both smiled. The moment stretched. Jade opened her mouth to say something, anything, when the bell jingled again. And her smile vanished. Marcus turned. A tall, broad-shouldered guy walked in, casually dressed, sharp jawline, expensive watch. Jade, he said warmly. Wow. You still run this place. She looked like she'd seen a ghost. Ethan. Fix. Marcus felt like he'd just been unplugged mid-match. Ethan turned to Marcus and offered a hand. Friend of Jade's. Marcus hesitated. Something like that. Cool. I'm her boyfriend. Ex-boyfriend, Jade corrected sharply. Ethan gave a sheepish laugh. Still the same fire. I missed that. Marcus wanted to shove a croissant in his mouth. Preferably at high velocity. Ethan hung around for a cappuccino, chatting like nothing had ever gone wrong. Marcus sat stiffly at the corner table, pretending to review strategy notes while trying not to eavesdrop. You're still gaming? Ethan asked Jade. Marcus flinched. The way he said it, condescending. Like it was something you outgrew. Jade just smiled coolly. I don't game. I just manage chaos. Ethan glanced at Marcus. Like him. Jade didn't answer. That stung. When Ethan finally left, Marcus didn't say anything. Not even a joke. Jade noticed. She slid a cup of hot chocolate in front of him. Extra whipped cream. Don't say I don't love you. Marcus took a sip then looked at her seriously. So that was the guy. Yeah. He sucks. She laughed, relieved. He kind of does. Marcus leaned back watching her. Why didn't you correct him when he asked if we were just friends? She blinked. I didn't know what to say. That's fair. Another long pause. He stood. I should get going. Team meeting. Marcus. Good luck with Ethan. That's not fair. He stopped, turning back to her. I'm not going back to him, she said. If that's what you think. I don't, he said softly. I just don't want to be the guy you settle for when no one else is around. Jade looked wounded. You think I'd do that? I think I'm in love with you, and I don't know where that leaves us now that my dream's finally happening. Silence. I need time, she whispered. Marcus nodded, masking the sting. I can wait. But not forever. And he walked out. Later that night, Jade sat on her bed, scrolling through her phone. She paused at a photo of Marcus and the team at the Songnam tournament. His smile wide, his fingers doing a ridiculous peace sign, hair all over the place. Her heart twisted. He typed a message. Jade, I don't want you to wait. I want you to go. But I also want you to know. I think I'm falling too. Then deleted it. And stared at her blank screen in the dark. Meanwhile, Marcus sat in a Discord call with Dylan, mic muted. I blew it, he said. No you didn't, Dylan replied, typing rapidly. You're just lagging behind in the relationship patch. She's probably figuring it out. Marcus sighed. What if I push too hard? Or maybe, Dylan said, you made the first move and now it's her turn. Chapter 6. Streamer Wars and Soft Drinks. The small studio where Marcus was supposed to film his first sponsored livestream was buzzing with excitement. And, frankly, a little chaos. Boxes of energy drinks, tangled cables, and a mountain of unopened snacks threatened to collapse under the weight of his sponsor's logo banners. Marcus adjusted his headset and checked the camera feed on his phone. His hand trembled slightly. The summer tournament circuit was still weeks away, but this livestream could make or break his image as a pro player. And he really wanted to impress. Jade leaned against the doorway, arms crossed, wearing her trademark skeptical expression. Are you sure you don't want me to do a sound check? I've got it, Marcus said, but the truth was he appreciated her presence more than he'd admit. She pulled out her phone. Just don't do that thing where you yell into the mic after every kill. I swear my ears are still recovering. Only when necessary. Uh-huh. The livestream kicked off and Marcus launched into game mode with gusto. Chat exploded with messages. Go Marcus. Team Respawn Romance. Stream MVP. But halfway through the first match, disaster struck. His controller suddenly lagged. The screen froze just as Marcus's character was about to land a critical hit. Lag spike. Marcus yelled, frantically pressing buttons. The chat was merciless. No. Re Marcus. Control plus Alt plus still. Jade laughed from the sidelines. Looks like the strategic morale boost tactic backfired. Marcus threw his head back and groaned. Great. Just then a notification popped up on Jade's phone. Hey Marcus, she said, showing him the message. Remember my cousin Sarah? She just invited me to co-host a lifestyle stream for a new online platform. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Lifestyle stream? Yeah. It's like gaming but with cooking, fashion, and soft drinks. Marcus snorted. Soft drinks. Jade smirked. I told you it's weird. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Maybe it's a chance to show you're more than just a player. Marcus thought about it. The idea of stepping outside his comfort zone was scary, but maybe it was exactly what he needed. All right, count me in. Their joint stream was scheduled for the weekend. Marcus showed up with a bag full of snacks, thanks to Jade's gentle nagging. Jade tried not to grin as Marcus awkwardly navigated talking to an audience about soda flavors instead of headshots. Okay, this one's called Blue Lightning. It tastes like a fruit punch in a thunderstorm. The chat went wild with laughter and weird emojis. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Marcus said, taking a sip and making a face. Jade giggled. You're doing great. Midstream, Marcus accidentally knocked over a bottle of sparkling soda. It exploded, spraying everywhere, on the equipment, the floor, and most unfortunately Marcus's lap. Oh no, he whispered. The chat erupted with L and wet Marcus incoming. Jade grabbed a towel and started helping him clean up. You're a mess. And you love it. They exchanged a look that lingered a second too long. After the stream ended, they sat on the studio couch, sticky and tired. Thanks for coming with me, Marcus said quietly. Jade nudged him playfully. Don't mention it. Someone has to keep you from embarrassing yourself. Yeah, well, you're not off the hook either. She smiled. True. Suddenly Marcus's phone buzzed. It was a message from the Tier 2 team. Welcome aboard, Marcus. Let's win this. He looked up, eyes shining. Looks like the real game starts now. Jade grinned. And I'll be here cheering you on. Marcus reached over and took her hand. Together, he said. Chapter 7. Tournament Tensions and Awkward Tango. The day of the summer tournament had arrived, and the arena buzzed with energy, rival teams and fans decked out in neon jerseys and face paint. Marcus paced backstage, fingers twitching, heart racing. Jade was in the VIP lounge, nervously sipping iced tea and trying to look like she wasn't obsessively checking her phone for updates. The matches started and Team Respawn Romance quickly proved they were a force to be reckoned with. Ria's sharp calls sliced through the chaos. Che's strategies kept them one step ahead, and Ace's mysterious skill left the crowd roaring. Marcus played like a man possessed. During a break between rounds, Marcus spotted Jade approaching, a sly smile on her lips and a small bouquet of wildflowers in her hands. Hey, she said, handing him the flowers. For luck. He grinned, momentarily forgetting the pressure. You're full of surprises. He shrugged. I'm your secret weapon. The next match started, but just as victory seemed within reach, disaster struck. A technical glitch caused Marcus's game to freeze mid-play. The arena went silent. Marcus stared at the frozen screen in disbelief. Backstage, Marcus's heart sank. I can't lose like this, he muttered. Jade found him, gently placing a hand on his shoulder. Hey, it's just a game. But it's my game. She smiled warmly. You're more than the pixels on the screen. He looked up at her, eyes full of something unspoken. Later that evening at the post-tournament party, the teams celebrated their hard-fought battles. Marcus and Jade found themselves alone on the balcony, city lights sparkling below. He took a deep breath. Jade, She cut him off with a playful grin. Save it for the victory speech. He laughed. Maybe I don't need to wait. They leaned in just as Marcus's phone buzzed loudly, his ringtone blaring the theme from his favorite game. They both jumped. Jade rolled her eyes. You and your games. Marcus grinned, brushing a stray hair behind her ear. Maybe some games are worth playing. Chapter 8. Game over? More like level up. The arena was packed, buzzing with anticipation, the hum of excited chatter and flashes of cameras lighting up like fireflies. Marcus adjusted his headset, feeling the familiar adrenaline surge. This was it, the championship final. From the stands, Jade's eyes never left him. She clutched a handmade sign. Go Marcus. You're our MVP. The match started at a breakneck pace. Every kill, every strategy, every split-second decision mattered. The opposing team was fierce, but Team Respawn Romance had heart. Marcus led his team through a masterful comeback, his focus razor-sharp. Mid-match, a voice came through his earpiece. "Marcus, you got this. We're with you." It was Jade. The crowd erupted as Marcus's team claimed victory. He threw his hands in the air, a grin stretching ear to ear. Backstage, the team hoisted Marcus on their shoulders. Jade ran up and threw her arms around him. "Congrats, champ." He kissed her forehead, breathless. Later, beneath the glow of city lights, Marcus and Jade walked hand in hand. "I never imagined gaming could bring me this," Marcus said. "Love." Jade teased. "Yeah. That too." Marcus stopped, turning to her. "I want to keep leveling up, together." Jade smiled, heart full. Game on. Epilogue. New Game Plus. 6 months later, the sun spilled golden light across the cozy apartment that Marcus and Jade now shared. A perfect blend of gaming gear and coffee shop charm. Marcus was sprawled on the couch, fingers flying over a new game controller, his streaming setup glowing softly in the background. Jade balanced a steaming latte in one hand, a laptop open with business plans and latte art tutorials on the screen. She smiled as Marcus made an exaggerated victory dance in the game, then paused to look at her. "You know," he said, "I never thought I'd be this happy playing games and running a coffee shop with you." Jade set down her laptop and sat beside him. "It's like we leveled up in real life," she said. Marcus nudged her playfully. "Ready for the next quest?" "Always," Jade grinned. They clinked their mugs together. Outside, the city hummed with possibility, but inside they had everything they needed. Love, laughter, and a lifetime of games to play, together.